again. Here we go. Time for open mic radio. Take a load off, enjoy the show. This is open mic radio.
Damn straight it is. It's 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. Yeah, it means it is once again time for Open Mic Radio. We're going to get it rolling with one from our own kind Kurt, I think.
Oh, one.
Right? Live at KOPN, this is kind Kurt Kitson. Anytime you're ready, bud.
Entwined in bliss, followed by 7 more of turmoil and twist, thrown from the nest in 19. It's time to fly on your own. Some would call this the American dream, but they haven't seen quite the same things I've seen. Men and women lying, children dying in the street. Said the American nightmare, American dream. Many's a man who sits high upon a bench, judging his fellow men with lack of common sense, throwing away life's liberties, forbidden happiness left to a rich man's fancy. Some would have you believe it's the American dream. Work all your life away and die in poverty. I say it's just another mask for slavery. I'm living a scream. Seems that's the American dream. Bend me over, fill me up with your rules, tell me it's all over unless I go back to school. Teach me how not to think, show me how not to be wise, and tell me all the your monetary gain is all there is in this life. I've seen your kind before in my dreams. Many forms you take, but you're never as you seem. Before I'm onto your scheme. As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna keep working on the dream. Dream, the American dream. a dream.
Yes, sir. I love it. All right, our own kind Kurt performing in the studio this afternoon, and appreciate that. Hi, Kurt. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Mike?
I'm pretty good. I will let people know that, well, I guess we should say welcome to the program. It's Open Mic Radio, Saturday, July 15th. My father's birthday, bless his heart.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Well, he can't hear you. Well, maybe he can. But,
Yeah, he can.
I mean, I don't think he can. Actually. Anyway, I'm glad you're all with us. I got a fun show planned, so stick around. We do this most every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. Live music and interviews with some of Missouri's finest musicians and bands. My name is Mike Hagan. I'm joined as usual by kind Kurt.
Hello, Guthrie. Thanks for tuning in.
Guthrie today. Anyway, yeah, Kurt is providing the theme music as usual, but also gonna do some of his own music as well this afternoon. So that one I think I've heard before, American Dream, or is it called American Nightmare? What?
That one is called Pipe Dream.
Pipe Dream. Well, speaking of that, oh wait.
No, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, that's what we do here, though. Okay, awesome local and regional music and the artists who create it. Okay, another awesome summer weekend here in the middle of Missouri. Hopefully, you're all having a wonderful week, and
it's a hot one today, man.
Not that bad, 90 degrees. I mean, middle of July.
98.
Come on, it's
95.
No, it was like 89 this afternoon. It wasn't even that hot. I was working out in the yard and cutting trees.
You're always working out.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know me, I'm all buff and everything, you know.
Yeah.
That's be my new ring.
Goes back to your Magic Mike days.
Buff Hagan, Buffy. Okay. Anyway, okay. We were. I'm trying to think of the guy from Back to the Future. What was the real jerk?
Was it Biff?
Biff, not Buff. Yes. Okay. All right. At any rate, I don't want to be either one of them, and I hope neither of you are either. Okay. All right. A lot to do in the Columbia area. I hope you're finding ways to enjoy it. Friday night, last night, always interesting downtown Columbia, and lots happening tonight as well. If you're in and around, out and about, give us a call. 573-443-8255 if you want to share the wealth and let us know what's happening out there. If you got something going on, or maybe you had a fun time last night and you want to let us know what's a scoop out there in Como Town, feel free to call. All right, 443-8255, 443-7380. Either one of those numbers will get you right here into the studio. Okay. All right. I'm looking forward to the show this afternoon. We've got a bunch of stuff happening. Actually, we should say thanks to the Daves. We weren't here last week. Big Cat Matt
and the Rockabilly Corner, which was a good show.
Always a great show. If you like,
I checked out some of that.
Old time country, rockabilly. I don't know. Early blues, I guess. Anyway,
and like 60s surf rock.
A lot of surf rock for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Big Cat Matt, Rockabilly Corner. He does that the second Saturday of every month, and me and Kurt take the week off. And that was last week. So the week before that, what did we have? The Daves were here.
The Daves.
Yeah, a whole complement of Daves. There were like 5 or 6 Daves here.
We did. That was the most Daves I've ever seen in one room.
That was actually
a plethora of Daves.
That was a really fun show, actually. They played a bunch of great music, and we had a bunch of cool people came through the studio that afternoon. And if you missed it, the podcast is out there and available. Just go to MikeHagan.com and then click on the Open Mic Radio button, all right? And then you won't miss any of these shows. They'll just magically appear in your podcast player. And the AI will bless you with the latest program.
Absence of intelligence.
Okay, somebody mentioned to me. We were at Booch's before we came over here, and somebody mentioned this. It was Mooney, the Screen Actors Guild writers
strike,
big strike, which I couldn't care less about. I mean, honestly, it means so little to me. I can't believe that it's that big of a deal, but. I mean, if anyone's paying attention to what's happening on the tech side, I don't see why a writer, frankly, is necessary anymore. I mean, my little AI chatbot can write better than any of these people, as far as I'm concerned. Have you seen what's on TV lately, by the way? Yeah.
Well, most people don't know that you actually are artificial intelligence.
That's a true statement. Yeah, in some weird way. Yeah, I think we all are, actually. We're the real AI, right? At any rate, best of luck to the people that are striking out there in Hollywood, because I think the days are done, man. That what do they say? That train left the station.
Chris.
Memphis Chris, how are you, my friend? Did you hear that first song that Kurt played?
It was awesome.
It's an excellent song. I love it.
Thank you for lying to me once again, Memphis Chris.
Yeah,
I love it.
He never heard you play anything other than the theme song.
I know
That was awesome.
he's got a bunch of stuff in his repertoire, as it were. That first one, Kurt, is that a song that's been written recently, or is it an older one?
That is a bit of an older one.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I think the old ones are better.
Yeah.
The old ones tend to be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they all come back in like 20-year cycles.
That's right.
Just
they
like
do.
Fashion, you know.
That's right. Fashion. Wasn't that a Bowie song?
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Memphis Chris here. Clark is here. Alina is here. My friend Epan is here. We've got Sticky from Sticky's Cabana, and also Lucas, who's a part of that project. And there's another gentleman. What did he say? Lofton? No, it's something like that. Tove. Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, we've got the guys from Sticky's here. They've got a big show coming up a week from today on the 22nd. So we'll talk with them a little bit here in a little bit. And yeah, great to have you all with us. Okay, if you want to be a part of it, one more time, 443-8255, 443-7380. Otherwise, we're just going to have some fun and hear some great music and hang out like we do every Saturday.
Yeah,
I know my radio.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. At some point, we will try to do a rundown of some of the things that are happening around town tonight, and maybe tomorrow, a little bit later in the week. There's a lot of cool rock and roll shows that are happening. You know, I'm telling you, I'm impressed by that Rose Park schedule that's been happening recently. And then the thing at the Sentinel Park stage, that's a whole new thing that's happening. Blue Note's got a bunch of cool stuff happening. Pierpont Store, of course, down at Cooper's Landing, down by the river. You can't beat it. So there's then we have Sticky's Cabana as well.
Sticky's.
So there's a lot, and we have the Twisted Pickle.
Yeah.
You can't forget the Twisted Pickle. Where's that again? It's like
Jamestown.
Hartsburg or something. Jamestown. You know, we always sort of do sort of a mock advertisement for the Twisted Pickles.
Jefferson City.
They should be supporting this program more. I talk more about Twisted Pickles than anybody else, and I don't even think they know about it.
You always have talked about Twisted
Leave my
Pickles
Twisted
more
Pickle
than
out of
anything
this.
else. That's before we even knew they had a venue named that.
Okay. All right.
But I digress.
Yes, we do regularly. We are down here once again at the new KOPN facilities, 401 Bernadette Drive. Super thrilled to be here. Major upgrade for the station over the last year or so. I really miss our general manager though. Jet left in the last month or so, and man, I'll tell you what, I am not a happy camper about it. He was really, really good, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. But now we need to find another GM, and so that's probably. I mean, if you're out there,
I hear Whitey Herzog's available.
If you're a radio person, and you're interested in maybe getting involved here at KOPN, get a hold of the board of directors, or I mean, it's really come on down here, whatever. But I'm sure that spot is open and needs to be filled, and we really need somebody who knows what they're doing. At any rate, speaking of that, the Brink is looking for a drummer, and I got a note from Ryan, and he said, "Hey, Mike, tell everyone that we're looking for a drummer." So the Brink Como, who were with us a few, a couple weeks ago?
Like 3, I believe. 3 weeks ago?
I don't know.
Almost a month ago.
Hey, what's up? We're the Brink Como.
You're listening to Open Mic Radio
On KOPN 89.5.
FM.
All right, and actually remembered the bumper.
How about the bumper, huh?
Yeah.
Got it, yep. All right, so anyway, the Brink is looking for a drummer. If you're looking to be a drummer for the Brink, get a hold of them. And they're easy to find on Instagram and all that other social media, and they're really kicking it. They had a gig at the Summer Camp Festival this year, and they've got a bunch of paying gigs coming up throughout the summer. So if you're a drummer looking for fun and maybe a little cash on the side, that's a gig that you might check out. I think Clark might actually even be auditioning for that spot. My friend Clark Lashuk in the corner here, a very talented drummer himself. So Okay, we need to do more music. I can see the
Let's get
people
some
are starting to
tunes
say,
going.
"Shut up, Hagan," and play. The show's supposed to be
Get
about
some
music.
tunes going.
I have a song that I want to play
All right.
because it is brand new from my favorite local artist, and her name is Ray Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah.
And
Ray Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Ray has a new song. She has a new record that's going to be coming out in a few months, but she's been collaborating with a gentleman by the name of Chaz Premack, and Chaz was in here with us 6 months ago or something like that.
Chaz was, but
No, Ray wasn't.
should be
Okay,
the
yeah, you
elusive
just
Ray.
keep sticking it
that
to me.
that should be the
elusive
name of
Ray
her album. The
Fitzgerald.
elusive Ray.
Yes, I've
Yep.
wanted to have Ray on this radio program for so many years, and she knows it too. We just laugh about it, but anyway, the timing just never seems to work. But it will
It
will
sounds like
happen.
a similar story to your girlfriend who happens to live in Canada.
Yeah, the timing
that
never
you
works
met
there
last
either, you know
summer
what I mean, right?
on a vacation. You know, I got,
Actually, it works pretty well. Okay, so
she's nice too, though.
Ray is the best, and Chaz is actually an internationally recognized guitarist. He does he performs with a Japanese group called Fukushima. I take that back. Fubutsushi. Fukushima is the place that blew up a few years, right? My Japanese Freudian slip is showing. So not Fukushima. Luckily, it's Fubutsushi is Premack's project with a couple of other super talented people, and then he also performs under Lake Mary.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And
We had
I
him
mean,
on.
yeah, Chaz was here, and I
Chaz
mean,
was
he's
here
an
like about 6
outstanding
months ago.
acoustic guitarist, and he's like very.
a great
I guess he's
guitarist.
famous, or he's becoming so. But anyway, Ray is collaborating with him on this new project, along with Lucas Oswald, who's one of her old, longtime collaborators. I don't know if Ian's involved in this project or not, but anyway, I will play this new one from Ray Fitzgerald. She's one of my favorites. This is called Say I Look Happy, and it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We'll be back in a few minutes. Kind Kurt's going to play some songs for us. We'll talk with Epen and Alina. We've got Sticky and the Cabana gang here. Clark will probably throw in his 2 cents once or twice, but once again, Ray Fitzgerald back in a few minutes.
I think I'm gonna try to be a better man. I'll be a better woman too. Be a better woman too. I think I'm gonna try to play a real clean hand. Straight and clean and true. Nobody has to lose. If you see me, say look happy. Say you see sunshine for miles. Say you see sunshine for miles. If it ain't true, honey, I'd do it for you. I'd say I saw sunshine for miles. Say I saw sunshine for miles. It was this pale moonlight that love has cast me in. Where mountains crown the valleys. Mountains crown the valleys. And where's the floor below that used to hold my feet? These mountains crown the valleys. I'm free floating from the highest peaks. Say I look happy.
Yeah, okay. Brand new music there from the wonderful Ray Fitzgerald. And if you're not familiar with her music, man, you should become so. I tell you what, she's been doing it for many, many years around here, and absolutely, if not my favorite artist, certainly up there with them. Anyway, I love you, Ray, and I love your new music, and let's get you and Chaz here in the studio and do a radio show, okay? All right, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We got a bunch of friends in the house this afternoon. Thrilled to see Mr. John Lamb here. Hi, John. You got to yell because there's only a few mics on, but John is... well, he's a man of many hats, but he plays bass for the band Lemon Settlement. He also is a talented videographer, and if you've seen some of the videos that we've done here on Open Mic Radio, some of the live performances, John's the guy behind that stuff. You can find him on
Great
YouTube.
footage there.
Oh my God! I mean, absolutely. I mean, just totally upped our radio game so much when John started doing video and when he does it for us. But anyway, on YouTube, I believe it's called
Speed Limit Productions.
Oh, Speed Limits, not Fast Lane. Speed Limit Productions and TVI on Instagram if you're looking for him. Yeah, Speed Limit Productions on YouTube. Right.
Videos are later.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, Kurt, you got anything you want to say of note before I say hi to Epen and Alina?
Well, I mean, I always have things to say, but they're very little of note.
Okay, fair enough.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. I missed you I missed you last week. You know, when we don't do the show, I miss not being here with you.
Well, that's sweet of you, Mike. Oh, see, again,
He
people
doesn't know
lying
if-
to
he
me.
doesn't know if
Yeah,
I'm being serious or
I know.
not.
I'm like,
I am, no.
where's this bit going?
No, absolutely not. I don't do bits. Come on. All right. With that,
I was
now,
crashed out
let's
in your
switch to our-
shed all last week anyway, man. You didn't say anything when you were going to and from the car.
I don't even look in there anymore.
Well, that's why I crash out in the shed.
Okay, let's switch our gears here really quickly. And we don't have very serious conversations on this program very often.
Are you sure?
And this one might be, but maybe not, because I can have a serious conversation with Alina and Epen or not, depending. But typically the subject matter is a little bit more intense, perhaps. But a good close friend of mine for many, many years, Epen Thampy, in the studio with me this afternoon, along with one of his co-conspirators. Her name is Alina. And Alina, I think your last name is Love.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Alina Love.
Alina Love. Quickly, a little bit about what you two do on a professional level, and then what are you doing in town and
Well,
all that?
I kind of wanted to, just chat a little bit. Alina and I went out last month to Denver for the 2023 Psychedelics Science Conference sponsored by the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies.
By MAPS, yes.
Yeah, and it was like 13,000 people there.
Yeah, it's the biggest one in the country every year, I think, right? I mean, like, hands down.
And growing.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So a large conference in Denver with regard to psychedelics as medicine, sort of, I guess, mostly, right?
Psychedelics is medicine. They had Aaron Rodgers there. They had
I love it.
Hundreds of researchers, doctors, nurses were in attendance. I got to meet with the some of the faculty at University of Wisconsin-Madison who's doing a clinical trial of psilocybin mushrooms for opiate reduction. Turns out, people tend to reduce their opiate use, or it helps break the withdrawal.
Addiction in general.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah, I know it's used in alcohol addiction and PTSD too, right? When it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder.
We talk about this a lot, sort of off the air when we're having private conversations, but it's crazy because this research has been done many times over the years. I mean, back in the late 60s and the 70s, the smart people knew that LSD and even ibogaine back even 50 years ago, but certainly psilocybin, that many of those compounds used in the right in the appropriate fashion, in the right set and setting, that type of thing that we've talked about, they can be extremely beneficial. And it's coming to light again. I mean, there's a whole new generation of people and young. I mean, it's a multidisciplinary and a multi-level as far as generational. I guess a multi-generational thing now. I'm sure that you met all kinds of people at the conference that had been around for years, and then you also had younger people like yourselves.
You know, and there was like, you know, psychedelics are drugs that human beings have co-evolved with, and so they have extensive permeation in our cultural evolution. You know, Lena clued me in on a handful of shows. There was a bunch of artists, playing music, you know, at events around the conference. So we went to some of those. That was super cool. And then you got to meet Allison Gray and
and Alex
and Alex Gray.
Yeah, I've met them quite a few years ago.
Interesting. You know, I interviewed Alex Gray years ago, like 2007, maybe 2006 or 7, when he was doing the artwork for the Tool records, which was why, I mean, that was my original. I was like, wow, I was doing that art, and then it turns out him and Terrence were friends. So, but anyway, that and his wife's a very talented artist as well. She's
actually from St. Louis.
Alex gets all the attention, but Allison's a remarkable artist in her own right. Cool. What was that? I mean, and they were there. Were they presenting, or were they just?
They were. They had a few talks, but also they were there to present their art. And you know, MAP's layout is really unique. It's huge grounds. It's at the Denver Convention Center.
Convention Center, right downtown?
Yeah, right downtown, and it's massive, and there's a bunch of different rooms.
Of course, a week later, they do the Great American Beer Festival. It's like a completely different scene.
Yeah.
At any rate.
Yeah, but this time you had these experts from different fields, and, you know, they included the indigenous in there, and they included different types of people, so it brought a lot of different types of people in general in society, and it was really unique being under the same roof with 13,000 people, but also with so many like-minded individuals who have been through the threshold and understand what that world is like.
Well, I spoke with both you and Epen when you were driving back from Denver, and when you and I were talking, you were hard to contain yourself. You were so wired from the experiences that you had there. So I knew that it was a significant thing.
It was incredible.
All right, so for people who aren't familiar with your work here in Missouri, Epen in particular, I mentioned him and I have been friends for years, but some of the most remarkable work that Epen has done over the years has been with regard to something that's called asset forfeiture. The asset forfeiture laws in this country are outrageously poorly written, let's put it that way, most of the time. But anyway, Epen worked for quite a bit of time on the sort of refining and what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, reforming, I guess.
Reforming, yes, reforming the asset forfeiture laws. But he was pretty heavily involved in the legalization of cannabis here in Missouri, and now I think moving on. Even though the law that was passed wasn't quite the one that we wanted, perhaps, I guess it's what we have, and we can do our best to change it in the future. But you've moved on.
Better than what we had 20 years ago.
That's true. You know, it's funny when I smoke. I still like sort of hide. I can't get over the fact that I can actually do it legally. I'll be outside and I still gotta hide. Oh wait, no, you don't have to, Mike. It's like, I guess, old habits, right? Anyway. But you're wearing a great T-shirt, by the way, and it says "Cultivating Wisdom." The shirt that Epen is wearing, and there's a real cool sketch of a mushroom on there. But maybe that's a decent way to talk about what you guys are interested in now, and why you were in Denver, actually.
Yeah, you know, so this conference, man, there's 13,000 people there. Rick Doblin, the founder of MAPS, who's kind of one of the visionaries in the space, got to meet him. Former Texas Governor Rick Perry gave one of the keynotes.
Interesting.
And then next to him, and then after him was Democrat Governor Jared Polis of Colorado, who's like a great guy too. But it was culturally diverse. It was ideologically diverse. Like I personally met like 12 Navy SEALs. Like it's in some, and a lot of like other special operator type guys, military guys.
These guys in the other room, pardon me, but the guys from Stakey's, they're all former Army, and they. I guarantee they appreciate this conversation. I'm sure they know some of the guys that we were with at the Capitol last year.
Yeah, I feel this conference in Denver kind of showed that the movement to legalize psychedelic access is kind of hitting a critical mass. I think our popular culture that has been permeated with this knowledge now. I mean, you can go on Netflix and see Michael Pollan's documentaries. There's at the elite levels in sports or in technology or
right. You say Aaron Rodgers. I mean, love him or hate him, the guy's an amazing athlete, and he's actually quite well spoken. And if you actually take the time to listen to what he has to say about his trip to South America or Central America or whatever, you might find him more interesting than you think, just because you don't like the Packers or you don't like his football style or whatever. Anyway, he's an intelligent guy.
Who doesn't like the Packers?
Come on, right? Anyway, he's an intelligent guy, and there's so many smart, thoughtful, reasonable people that are in that space, as they say, that it's hard to hold it down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Really, you think about
visionaries,
really
great minds
from all kinds of, and like you were saying, Alina, from all kinds of different angles, And
just for people who don't know what MAPS stands for, it stands for Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies. So
and MAPS has been around for a good long time now.
Yeah, 37 years.
Yeah. Anyway, great work that they're doing. I appreciate that you guys are involved, and I'm glad you had a great experience down there. What's happening in Missouri? Is there anything to talk about at the state level?
Yeah, so I was just in St. Louis for a week. We're going to do a conference event in St. Louis on psychedelic issues. October 21. We're going to do kind of the same conference event in Kansas City, October 14. Those are both Saturdays. And then in November, here in Columbia, Missouri, we do a more focused advocacy conference. The Kansas City and St. Louis psychedelic events will be more, culturally oriented, more public facing. But over the years, we've kind of built a strong grassroots base of interested and involved advocates who, Alina's become one of them who've come up to the Capitol, talk to lawmakers, explain this is how these issues are important and the potential to revolutionize mental health in this country.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Alina, what's your background? Like, how did you get involved in this to begin with, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh man, how I really got into this is through my own healing. And
And that's the best way.
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of people say that because it really takes.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, it really takes a lot to go to the underground whenever your mental health is not in a good place and you're in a crisis, and I feel that for a lot of people. But yeah, it started with my own journey, and just. As my background, I am a human design guy, but I'm also a psychedelic integration specialist, and I help people with preparation and integration afterwards, because whether, these substances are legal or not, unfortunately, people are pushed to a limit, and they, experiment with things that might help them. And in many cases it does help them, in many cases it doesn't. And just to make sure people are supported in the aftermath, I'm here as an advocate to kind of catch them on the other side.
Those experiences can be really powerful, and it's not just during it. It's wow, what just happened, and how do I integrate this now into my life moving forward? So I appreciate
absolutely
that.
And how big of a positive impact that can also make on your life.
Oh my gosh,
as well.
I everyone who listens to this show knows because they know me from way back. But yeah, psychedelics. I won't be as dramatic as say it saved my life, but certainly cleared a lot of things up for me, and actually made me into a better person, or helped me become a better person. And a better man, to actually know what it's like to even be a man. I didn't even know what it meant to be a man, frankly. When I was younger. So there's definitely opportunity for benefit there for the individual and for the culture at large. Again, it's a serious thing. It has to be done in the right context with the right intention and all that stuff. It's not toy, but it is a birthright as far as I'm concerned.
I absolutely
and we
agree.
should, and everyone who's of age should have the opportunity to experience
The right to try.
those things. Absolutely right. Yeah. So hopefully we can move Missouri further in that direction, right?
We have a website now, psychedelicmissouri.com, and hopefully in the next week or two I'll be updating with some of the information on our events.
Okay.
So,
Well, you got an open door here, and if you ever need a platform, or if you ever need to let people know what's happening, come on down and we'll chit-chat for a minute. And
I uploaded your talk that you gave to our group last November to the internet, and
I'm not sure that I thanked you for that, but if I didn't, thank you for that. Yeah, I was privileged to have the opening talk at the conference last year in November, and I appreciate you having me do that. And anyway, there's a video of that out on YouTube now. So, yeah. Wow. Anyway, great, good work. Keep it going. All right, and I'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All
Thanks
right.
for having us.
Yeah,
Mike.
stick around, and
Thanks so
we're
much.
just hanging around, grab a beer, or just hang tough.
I gotta get on the road to Kansas City.
You
but,
guys are heading back. Are you traveling together?
No,
No. What do you got going?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Alina Love, Ethan Thampy, doing great work in the psychedelic space here in Missouri. Appreciate you, both of you. Okay. Yeah. Talk to you soon. All right, Kurt, you want to play a song?
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then we'll grab Sticky and those guys and talk with them for a little bit. All right.
All right. That sounds like a plan to me.
Very good. All right. Well, and I want to talk to John too, because I know the band's been working a lot. Let's see what's happening with Lemon Settlement. Do you have stuff to talk about? Is there?
Oh yeah, we got a couple gigs and we got a song I can share if you like.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have Kurt do, and then we'll get that set up for a little bit later in the show. Okay. All right. Very good. Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We've got Kai and Kurt performing for us in the studio this afternoon, and a bunch of friends as well. Once again, Ethan Thampy, Alina, appreciate you, and. Check them out, psychedelicmissouri.com. That's the new website, right? Yeah, honestly, really good work that they're doing, and good for everybody, okay? All right, let's have another song, and we'll be back in a few minutes. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org.
Learn to live your life to the fullest. Never settle for anything less than perfect. Don't waste your time on fear and hatred. Or people with simple minds that claim you have your interest in mind as they assert their stupid opinions. Careful not to get caught up in their lies and superstitions, or perpetuate another crime by remaining indifferent. Try to be a little more. We could go for a walk outside, gaze up at the clear blue sky, just sit around the house all day. Either way, it'll be okay, 'cause you and I are not all that different. jealous eyes and inconsiderate. Heed these words and change now while you can. Turn it all around, rearrange it, make up your own mind and take your stand. Try to be a little more than you were the day before.
Yeah, heck yes, Kurt, love it.
Thank you.
Fantastic, and Clark, nice accompaniment there.
Yeah,
on the
I love it.
on the percussion.
And what is the little wood tom we have going there?
I don't know.
What do you even?
A friend of mine that I used to live with in Denver got that in like Guatemala. It's a Central American. It's basically a piece of wood that was hollowed out, and they put some cuts in it, and it's got a whole bunch of different sounds depending on where you whack it. And
I love the sound.
Yeah, so it's also got some cool artwork on it too. So, unfortunately,
But it's got great sound.
Not good for radio, but anyway, cool
That's
stuff.
what
And
matters.
Clark making it sound really good.
If
back
Clark
there.
will hold it up to the mic a little closer, man, maybe our
Maybe they can see it.
listeners can see it a little better
Yeah,
than
a
what
little
they
closer
can.
to the microphone, they can see it there. Kurt,
Yeah.
another great song. A little bit about that one, please.
Yeah, I call that Learn. And it kind of, I don't know, I think I play it different every time I play it.
Well,
so
maybe you're learning how to.
I've been letting to play. Thanks for the time for the practice, Mike. I appreciate
Actually, you sound great, and
Thanks, brother.
I appreciate your humility, but also you sound just fantastic. So,
it. Well, thank you. Fun, always fun.
for sure.
And
All
I
right.
love the accompaniment, the percussion.
No doubt, that was.
yeah.
I mean, Clark's a man. So,
That's right.
hey, John, why don't you grab that microphone, would you, for a minute? So I mentioned earlier that our friend John Lamb is with us in the studio, and John, just putting my hot little hands here,
Yeah, that's not mastered yet, but it's going off to a master finish. I don't know what you call that.
the masterer.
Somebody who masters records.
Right.
It's a Lemon Settlement's upcoming album, and hopefully we'll have it out pretty soon.
Oh, you
Very
know what I
good.
think this
So-
smells like? Smells like a debut.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
okay, so the Lemon Settlement, for those unfamiliar, is a local sort of alt rock. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
kind of
mean,
all over the place. A
Yeah,
little
but-
60s garage, a little punk, a little power
little
pop,
awesome.
a little
Right.
all over the place. So.
Definitely a rock and roll band, though. And you guys have kind of been, you were sort of off the radar for a little bit, looking
Yeah.
for a drummer, I think, and now
Yeah.
kind of things are back together.
So, yeah, we've been playing out. We've got a show coming up on August 11th at the Arcade District, Sentinel Park.
Man,
And,
that stage is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
great new addition to the Columbia music scene, certainly.
yeah, looking forward to that. It's gonna be a good time, and we're all excited about this. I was making artwork last week, and hopefully we can get something out. And yeah, our band is it started off as a recording project that Michael Martin started and still runs, and so that album probably has like 15 people on it in various stages of participation, and then we sort of have the live rock version, which is 4 to 5 people depending on who's around. And,
Right.
So we're not as elaborate as the recording because Michael sure likes his tracks, but
Well, that's all right. You can produce it and make it sound good. That's great.
yeah, but I think we put on a pretty fun show. So yeah, and I was just hanging out. Thought I'd stop by. Normally I'm got a camera in tow, and I should have brought one. Kurt, that was amazing. So.
Actually,
Well, thank you, John.
I love that you stopped by, and there are how many songs on the CD that you just gave?
There's 15.
15. So
Yeah.
the record is going. Will there be 15 tracks
Is this-
on the
right.
CD?
Yeah, like four
Damn, we're
of
talking
them
a
are sort
full-length
of
CD.
we're calling interludes. They're just
Well,
sort
they're a
of
minute long or
collages.
something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
So what? That's really cool. I
Yeah.
can't wait to. Okay, I gotta ask. Is it?
When is the commercially released version available?
We don't
If
know
I
yet.
can
We don't
include
know yet.
myself.
We got to the we're done stage, and now we're gonna mail it off. Michael found someone in Georgia. Who's gonna
master it?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then I'm working on the artwork, and so this is a little premature. I was just hanging out at home.
Well, no, it's great. It's
Thought
great.
I'd come by and say hi, but it's been
I'm
on
thrilled.
heavy rotation in my van. So
All right.
I love
Well,
the
we're
new
gonna,
stuff.
We're going to hear at least one. Maybe we'll hear a couple of them. Tell me, okay, when you make a record that has 15 tracks on it, we've talked about this on the air before and how it's a sort of a lost thing with the younger generation that they don't really realize what it's like to listen to an album from the beginning to the end when there's actually a purpose through the album that's sort of like it's designed that way. It's
Sure.
meant. Did you have that in mind with this record? I mean,
well,
were
no.
you thoughtful about the track selection and where they went and all that? And
Well, to be honest, this is all props to Michael Martin. This is his project. I'm playing bass, and sometimes I add a couple more instruments here and there. But these are songs he's had for years, and he considers these as not like. He said that it was sort of a collage of different things, and so the interlude sort of address that. Like the opening is almost like an overture. It's like little segments of like 6 other tracks that he had recorded 20 years ago, and so I think we just we looked at each song individually. We've got a whole nother 10 or 12 that aren't on the album, and so he just did he called it a car mix, and he'd make a playlist and listen to that in the car and see how it sounded as he was driving, and kind of came up with this sequence. So
I love it. Okay. Any particular tracks that you might suggest we play?
Yeah, let's play number 2. That's called Do the Disco Down, and that features a couple of guys that have moved on to the Southwest, one in New Mexico, one in Texas, Dave and Todd.
Okay.
And Todd's a drummer, but on this one he plays a really mean xylophone solo.
Right on.
So, which you won't see locally, unfortunately, because he's off. But it's a pretty fun song. So.
All right on. So this is Do the
So
Disco
you're looking
Down.
for xylophone players, what I hear, right?
Well, if they want to do one song, that'd be great.
Right.
So
Have xylophone. We'll travel.
Yeah.
All right.
so there's a little 4-second gap there, and then it's gonna start pretty loud. So
no worries. New music from the Lemon Settlement. Once again, the song title?
Do the Disco Down.
Do the Disco Down. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
Put your foot down and twist it like
Oh, heck yeah. Yes, yeah. All right, I love it. Brand new stuff from Lemon Settlement. That will be available to the public as a CD or an album. Are you going to make an album, or is it just going to be a digital thing?
We talked about vinyl, but the year out wait kind of scared us off, and we've been sitting on this a while. So, yeah.
But either way, it'll be out there once I get it wrapped up here. But by the end of the year, do you think that it'll be?
Hopefully by the end of the summer, I think. I don't know.
I know it's so hard. I know it's hard to make those commitments.
Yeah, like I said, this isn't an official announcement. It's we're getting really close announcements. So.
Right. Well, I appreciate you sharing it with us here, and
that's official enough for us, right?
And we're gonna since I have the CD and it's in the player, whether you want it back or not, I'm gonna play something else from it. So
all right.
But I'll give you the. I'm sorry. Whoever keeps calling. I really need to talk to the engineer about this because it's very difficult to know when somebody's calling unless I'm looking right at the phone, and I just saw it flashing.
We need one of those lights like.
I know it should.
Did they leave that at the Dalton building?
Well, the thing is, when this phone rings, which is not the studio phone. In other words, this phone over here, if it rings, I can't put them on the air, but that's the one that flashes.
Yeah, because we used to have a little light that you could see in the studio.
No, we never have.
Are you sure?
I'm certain.
I saw a lot of lights at
there's
the
a lot
Dalton
of
building.
lights. Yeah, trust me, I know. That had to do with the substances that you were putting in your body. Anyway. There was a flashing light there as well, but it's always been.
Well, now you're telling me there was a flashing light.
Okay,
I told you I saw a flashing light.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Call back, and I'll try to keep my eye on the phone. All right, and I'll throw Kurt through the window here in the meantime.
At least I don't have that far to go to get down to the ground.
It's
from
right
here.
There. Yeah, it's not like getting thrown out of the Dalton building. Yeah.
Hey, it'd be better than taking the stairs there.
Oh, no kidding.
Either way, it really
dangerous
would.
down those stairs, man.
Just like toss me out.
Okay, now back to our guest, okay? John Lamb and Lemon Settlement.
I don't know if I'm a guest.
Yeah, you're a guest. Yeah,
part of the clubhouse gang.
Exactly, the clubhouse gang.
He's such a regular. He's not really a guest, but he's a guest today because he's sharing new music with us. So, I'm thrilled. That last one was awesome.
That was awesome.
So,
yeah,
had a total punk edge to it, man. It was incredible.
Yeah. We do it a close approximation with that, but we just don't have a xylophone. I don't even know the name of it.
Once again, there's the call, and the Brink needs a drummer. Did I tell you that? So if you're a xylophone player and a drummer, then you got two new gigs coming up here.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. I would like to play one more though.
Okay. How about track 11, which is "Turn Your Fortune Around."
All right.
And
then jam your disco down, whatever.
Yeah. So this is another hard rocker, but they're not all like that. But yeah. So.
All right. Cool. And. Once again, Lemon Settlement. You have a show you said that was coming up?
Yeah, August 11th at Sentinel Park. And then actually we're going to participate in, they have an event on September 9th, but that's out. That's going to be several bands, including Drona will be there and a whole bunch of other folks.
I have an affinity for all the shows at Sentimental Park.
It's Sentimentality Park.
Oh.
Yes, all right. Bicentennial Park? Yeah, that's what you say. Yeah.
Either way, I'm going to be there, man.
Where is it? Is it at Sentinel? Is it Bicentennial? Is it Centennial Park? No, it's Bicentennial Park. It's just around the corner.
Yes, for those of us that remember the Bicentennial.
Yes, I have a friend who collects those quarters. They made a special quarter, 25-cent piece.
Sure.
And it had like a Liberty Bell on the back of it or something. Anyway, I have a friend who has thousands of those quarters, and and they're still not worth any more than a quarter.
And they're like worth a quarter.
Yeah, you can.
I told him to put it all into Bitcoin, but he didn't listen to me. So,
they're very useful at Aldi. So
they are. You can get a card at Aldi for sure. Hey, Aaron Mooney in the house.
I'll give him a couple of Lincoln. Like face coins
Aaron, I already said
quarter.
I hope I can say your full name on the air. I hope it's not like the post office thing on the wall. All right, good. All right, so a good friend of ours.
Those have all been taken away.
Always a great surprise. See Aaron.
Those have all expired.
I usually see Aaron at Booch's, and that's about it. So great to have Aaron Mooney in the house. He's a former professional disc golf player, and there's a lot of disc golf happening around. I mean, it's just crazy how disc golf actually blew up. Aaron, grab that mic if you don't mind for a minute. You can. You don't have to, but I'm just saying, man.
Because I think there's a couple like new courses, relatively new courses going on.
My kids play it and everything. It's a huge deal.
I think the Worlds is coming up, professional Worlds. I mean, I think the purse is finally up to like $400 grand or something.
No kidding.
Wow.
Where do they
There's billion-dollar players under contract, so I mean, it's finally getting there.
Yeah, and they do endorsements and all that stuff. And
Honestly, like
where is that held? That world tournament?
I'm not sure where it's at this year. I think it's Flagstaff.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, but
Huh.
no, it's with internet and streaming abilities and production companies. That's why the money is actually starting to happen.
Because they can actually broadcast it and
Right.
make money on advertising and stuff. Well, I've seen some of like.
Post-production stuff is cool.
Oh, well, it's so cool when they actually can show the flight of the
Drone,
disc all the
yeah.
way through or whatever. That's incredible. Yeah, very cool
it's coming
stuff.
along.
All right. Anyway, good to see Aaron and John Lamb. We were talking about the
Song 11.
Song 11, and
yeah.
I should get back on track here. No pun intended. Ha. Okay. New
Turn
music-
your fortune around. It's sort of a banger. It's sort of self-explanatory.
We like bangers. Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. New music from Lemon Settlement. Check it out. Oh my gosh. Absolutely outstanding. New music from Lemon Settlement. I cannot wait for that to be released publicly and after it's been mastered. I mean, that's not even the master. It's very good, but it's it'll be even better than that.
I hope so.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you. I feel like I interrupted. But
No, you kidding me? That was perfect. Yeah, that was great. You know how this show rolls.
Yeah.
We love to be interrupted. So awesome stuff. John Lamb, Lemon Settlement. Appreciate it, man. We'll see you soon, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, August 11th at the Sentinel. That's a Friday night, Sentinel stage down there at the new Arcade District, okay? All right. Yeah, and thanks again to John for doing the video that he does for us here. It's really, really, really cool. All right, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. You can find me on the web at Mike Hagan, MikeHagan, MikeHagan.com. and you can download the podcast or subscribe to it, I guess is what you do. Or if you don't want the podcast, who cares? Just all the shows are there. You can just go listen to them or download them or whatever. So there's a bunch of cool stuff that we've put up there for everyone to enjoy. It's been up there for a long time. Been a lot of shows for many years now. So anyway, we appreciate the wonderful musicians that come down here and share their music with us, and I couldn't do it without them, and without you all listening, and without venues that actually support live music and that share it with the public. So that's my segue to my friends here from Sticky's Cabana. I've got Lucas and Sticky, and I apologize, I forgot.
Topher James.
Topher James. Topher, is it your first name, Topher?
It is the second half of my first name. Yes.
Please tell me the whole thing. I got to hear it.
Christopher James Brady.
Topher. So Christopher. I love it. I've known so many Christophers in my life. I've never heard any one of them called Topher.
Well,
that is outstanding.
The whole story behind that is when I first became a part of the Cabana family is there were already 3 Chris's associated with it. Sticky obviously is a Chris.
Right.
His son-in-law is a Chris.
Okay.
And
then you.
Frog, Kermit. Well, that's his
no.
He's the
Back when I started though,
there
was you, Sap, and
there was
another Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, so a whole bunch.
So I just started going by Topher.
Wow, I like it. Very cool. All right, so we got Topher, we got Lucas, and we got Sticky, all representing Sticky's Cabana. For those unfamiliar, what is and where is Sticky's Cabana?
Go for it.
Oh, you're going to hit me right off the bat. Originally, we were located here in Columbia, but after we went legit, we paid for our business license, we got our merchant's license, we did about, a dozen shows?
Yeah, something like that.
And we had one neighbor make one noise complaint, and the city hit us with a cease and desist.
The county, yeah. The Gestapo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we cannot let our local music community down. We had the entire season booked out, and we immediately started looking for another venue, building, whatever, to do our thing. And in our search, we ran into Skull Splitter Spirits Distillery out in Higbee.
Okay.
On Route B, just off of Route A.
Right.
Shameless plug. And they are kind enough to let us use some space in their facility twice a month. So we are still continuing with the shows, still bringing local music to mid-Missouri.
Right. Okay. Through Skull
Splitters
Distillery.
Spirits Distillery. Yes.
And that's in Higbee.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is what, half an hour from here, maybe?
Yeah, half hour, 45 minutes tops.
Okay.
Yeah. Actual address 9603 State Highway B.
Okay. Is there a website perhaps for Skull Splitter? They're
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe they've got a regular web space, as do we.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, the address is on our website as well, so.
All right, no problem. I'm sure people can find it. And so you guys have upcoming shows, and what's happening? I think next week you got a big one coming up, right?
Yeah, next weekend we've got a big country show. It's Tex Carroll opening for the Missouri Outlaw Band.
Wow,
and
cool.
They're
Tex Carroll, fantastic.
Yeah, they're a very they've been a band that's performed in the area for like 40 years. And they haven't performed in like 5 or 6 years, and we're kind of bringing them out of retirement a little bit, but they're very well known in that area.
Okay, all right, cool.
So yeah,
and that's a week from today. Is that right?
A week from today. It starts at door opens at 6. Show starts at 7.
All right. Is that what was our cover?
Yeah, $5.
$5. Wow, very very reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not going to find anybody cheaper in the entire Columbia area.
All right. Well, is it tell me a little bit about the space, visualize the space for the people out there. What's it like where they'll be seeing the music?
It's concrete floor, steel walls. It's in a manufacturing facility, but it's wide open front to back, top to bottom.
And they built a stage in there or something, and PA, how they handling sound and all that stuff.
PA is.
You guys are sound guys,
yes,
actually. You and Lucas, right?
The sound is all our equipment.
Okay.
The stage currently is a
flatbed,
20-foot flatbed,
something like
dual axle trailer. Hey,
man,
it works.
It works, right? I'm telling you, that makes a great stage, actually.
My big thing is what I tell folks is we do what we do with what we've got and what we can get a hold of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the size of Skull Splitter where we have
Can you get a bunch of people in there? How many people can you get in there?
We are square footage about twice the size of Bros Music Hall.
Oh gosh. Okay. So plenty of room for all the folks to come
Yeah.
out and see the show. All right, very good. Okay, so what's the ongoing relationship conversation with Skull Splitter? I mean, are you guys thinking you're going to obviously you're hoping to continue this, but what are they getting out of it? What's their angle? I'm curious.
So they of course they sell alcohol.
If you own Skull Splitter Distillery, just call me right now 443-8255. We'd be glad to share your opinions on the air. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, but they of course they sell alcohol and they make their own moonshine, Missouri moonshine.
And wine.
So is there a bar open? Like they actually have a bar while you're having a show?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, very good.
That's where they're benefiting from big time.
Sure. Yeah. Probably a lot of fun too. I mean, and what do they make there?
Missouri moonshine and wine.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've got some pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, was anything like the stuff that you brought me?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, for that.
That's a little stronger.
Well, yeah. Okay, so so we got the country show coming up next Saturday. And then I think you're doing them twice a month. What's coming up after that?
August 5th.
I know you guys love your rock and roll. There's always some big rock and roll shows out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So most of August, we've got August 5th and we've got August 12th.
Okay.
August 5th is another country show, and it is Hunter Milner, who happens to be the lead singer for a rock band here in Columbia called Lifeline.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
They're like Moberly, aren't they?
Moberly, Columbia area.
Yeah, okay.
But he's the lead. He's taken on a side project, and he's working on country. And so he's going to open up with country. And we've got another young, talented individual named Thomas Langdon, who goes by the name of Jitterbug. Yeah. And he's gonna play. And then Grant Wright and the Hackamores are going to finish that one out.
Hackmores.
Yeah.
That reminds me of me playing golf the other day. That should have been my name. Mike Hackmore. That would be appropriate for the golf course.
Lifeline will be there August 12th. Performing.
I'd like to see them. I keep hearing about them, and I've never seen them.
Come on out.
You know, there's a band of young musicians that my friend Memphis Chris here is a fan of. They're called Concannon, and they're
playing out with us this season, I believe.
Okay,
they're playing our fundraiser.
And you're young guys. I mean, like young. I mean, I'm not even sure if maybe high school, maybe not.
Yeah. Not yet.
I don't think so.
But anyway,
Before, though, haven't you guys?
they've been
not yet.
They've been not yet.
No,
I think this is the first year.
Yeah.
You're thinking about them being here. You're just confused, Kurt.
Yeah, they're actually performing our fundraiser that we have this year for the honor flight.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, we always do a fundraiser, so at least two, I'd say. Two, and then we adopt a family for Christmas as well.
Well, you guys have a military background, I think. Yeah. Are you guys all Army? I know you are, Sticky.
Just these two. I'm the one that's not.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah. That's all right. Odd man out, no big deal. Right? Okay. Well, I appreciate what you've done, and I appreciate what you guys are continuing to do. So, but anyway, these guys, Concannon, they're just a young group of musicians, and they're kind of making a splash. Their dad sent me a link to a YouTube video that they actually to a music video that they produced recently, and it's pretty dang solid. I gotta send that to you, Chris. You won't believe it. I mean, you will actually. You saw them play live, I think.
Great heavy rock.
Yeah, I mean, they're like if you like grunge '90s, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, STP, Pumpkins. Yeah, they're right up that alley. But really, I mean, I could see them taking it to new places. Very, very, very cool stuff. So, anyway, that's great that you guys are supporting all the folks that you are. So, plans through the fall and the winter, just kind of keep it rolling and keep booking new stuff.
There you go, Lucas.
Well, we're thinking we're probably going to start our third season of the podcast.
I was going to say one thing on my list that you have a podcast as well. Now, is that okay? What's the story with the podcast? Is that related to Stickies or is it?
Yeah, so the podcast is related to Stickies. It's something where we bring on musicians that have performed throughout the year. And
very cool.
Give them interviews.
Sure.
And we post that.
Just like we do right here.
Yeah.
Basically, any podcast site you can think of, it's out there.
Okay. All right.
Including YouTube.
Yeah, and then we've got the video versions on YouTube as well.
All right. Well, we talked a little bit off the air about maybe collaborating with KOPN in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a possibility. I think it'd be cool. So, and certainly have the facilities that you could use. So, anyway, very cool. Love what you guys are doing. Keep it going. All right.
Absolutely.
And anything else you want to add?
No, can you think of anything?
Other than promo in our shows, we've got the Battle of the Bands coming up.
What's that one?
That is September. Shoot, now you got me on the spot. It's in September.
I think it's September 9th.
Yeah, you're right. September 9th.
Now, are the bands actually playing, or are they actually going to fight?
No, they're going to perform. I think I've got it down to like 40-minute spots apiece.
Okay.
And there's going to be 6 of them.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is our second annual for the Battle of the Bands.
Right on.
So our
how do you determine who's? Pardon me. How do you determine who's in the?
It's done by the crowd. The crowd.
No, but how do you determine the first 6 bands?
So we post something up, and whoever contacts us, boom, there it is. So, but our defending champions, Lifeline. So Lifeline's they're gonna have to perform first, and that's what's
see if they can hold the title.
Yeah.
All right.
We've got some interesting bands coming in for that for sure.
Some very strong contenders.
Very strong in that area. Yeah.
You know, isn't it amazing just the amount of talent, I guess is the word that I'll use, around here? I mean, Columbia is one thing, but we've got all these little outlying areas. You know, I mean, we're talking about little towns, Higbee, and you know, and all, but there's music everywhere, and talented people. So.
Oh, for sure.
Love it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, Skull Splitter Distillery, Sticky's Cabana, they're doing it together. Check them out on the web, and a couple shows a month they're doing. This one coming up next week is going to be a fun one. That's a big country show.
Big country show, yeah.
And Battle of the Bands coming up later in the summer, I guess early fall maybe.
Yeah.
And
then our Halloween show this year.
Lifeline, you said though, Lifeline actually playing along with a couple other bands, with just a regular show. It's not the Battle of the Band show. That's coming up in about a couple 3 weeks.
Yeah,
right?
about 3 weeks, August 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Awesome. Well, you guys.
The right lineup.
All except Manny Petty. They had to drop out, and Mooncaller out of Kansas Came in with it.
Huh? Yeah, I mean that's great.
He's got the lineup.
I've got the lineup. It's the defending champions being Lifeline.
Okay, and this is the lineup for the Battle of the Bands coming up. That is coming up in September.
Early September
9th.
Yes.
Early September 9th. Okay, all right. So what's the lineup?
Starting off with Lifeline.
Okay, last year's champs.
Correct. Another Moberly-centric band is Joker's Wild.
Okay.
Awesome 3-piece. They do a lot of Pink Floyd and Rush covers, but they also have some excellent originals.
Okay.
Revna. Ow.
Who was that? Don't mind that.
I hit the wrong sound effect.
Revna.
Are they out of Cape or
Springfield?
Springfield, okay.
Yep.
Out of Reach.
Yeah, they're out of Springfield as well.
And 5-inch Flaccid.
Out of the lake. Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Wow, that's the best one I've heard in a while. Thank you,
And
Chris.
Mooncaller out of Kansas City.
Mooncaller out of Kansas City. They actually played our first show out at Skull Splitters with Grimstalker.
Wow.
And 2 very talented bands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I go with 5-inch Flaccid for the most subtle of the band names, but you know. But anyway, that's gonna be a riot. All right, you guys, it's awesome. Again, I appreciate what you're doing.
Your yearbooks back when you graduated.
Oh gosh, no, not even close. All right, gentlemen, thanks again. Appreciate what you're doing. Sticky's Cabana and Skull Splitter Distillery doing some cool stuff together and keeping it going with live music.
Absolutely, I appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, thanks again for the flower.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, yes. All right, check them out. Awesome stuff we got going around town here. Sticky's Cabana. Big music next weekend, and that Lifeline show is going to be great in a few weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Kurt, you want to? Maybe we can have you guys flip flop a little, and I get you back and play another song for us.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kind Kurt my good friend and compadre here at the radio show. Kurt is a former member of a band that was called Holy Frog. And that was, I don't know, in the early 2000s, maybe through 08, 09, something like that, maybe?
Yeah, like mid-90s to...
Yeah.
Mid-90s to mid-2000s.
To the mid-2000s. Anyway,
That's a fair
and they had an interesting career or an interesting...
Or like their...
No, you guys had a great experience out there and got to rub shoulders and become friends with lots of...
It was a lot of fun.
Lots of people that most of you listeners out there would be familiar with. We've talked about Blind Melon and Stone Temple Pilots and the Meat Puppets and Built to Spill and bands like that Kurt was kind of hanging out with back then.
Yes.
But we're fortunate enough to have him play some of his own stuff for us this afternoon. And if I haven't thanked you, I appreciate it, Kurt. Kurt's very humble. He's very sort of self-deprecating, but trust me, he's a talented dude, and we're fortunate to hear the music that he's performing for us. So thank you, my friend. And what are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna play.
Look, I'm out of here.
Trust Fund Baby.
I'm not doing any Trust Fund Baby.
Yeah.
I can tell that. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia.
Wish I was a trust fund baby, had lots of money and winning eight of gold. Had I been born to some high society lamey, I'd spend all my cash on hookers, shiny cars, and blow. But instead I'm stuck, walling in the muck, staring at the stars and waiting for dusk. Well, it's fair to say and easier to see that I'd rather been born as a trust fund baby. Oh, well, I wish I was a trust fund baby, had lots of money and when I made a go. Had I been born as some high society lady, I'd spend all my cash on hookers, shiny cars, and blow. I'd be rich and you'd get by on bigger means, and the differences between us would become obscene. One day I'd see you and you'd be looking back at me, and we'd both know you'd rather been born a trust fund baby. Oh, wish I was a trust fund baby. Wish he was made of gold. Wish he was a big fat layman. Wish I was snurl his money up his nose.
Trust fund baby. I wish it was one too, man.
Yeah.
Right? Make things a little easier. You never know, though.
Well, I probably wouldn't be here had that happened to me.
Right? We'd all be dead if we were trust fund babies. All right, it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. Well, things have quieted down here now this afternoon. Sticky and the gang are out the door. I think Eben and Alina are on the way back to Kansas City. Actually, Alina's around town. But anyway, it's me and Kurt and Memphis and Clark, and we're just jamming out a little bit. We've got a few minutes. We got a half an hour left of this radio program. So, Kurt, you may have to play more than two more. You may have to play three more. I don't know.
Well.
If you'd like to say hi, please do. 573-443-8255.
Hello.
Give us a call, and I'll try to answer the phone. It's Open Mic Radio, and we're on the web at kopn.org. My name is Mike. Did I say that? Yes. And the website is mikehagan.com, and you can get the podcast.
Mike Van Hagen.
Wait, hold on. I got to do this one for Kurt. I'm not very good at that.
At the bumpers?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have it. I just didn't have it. I spoke too soon. Is what I did, because I should have had it already, and then and then I could have just done this.
Hey, this is Luke from Ruby Lane, and you're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN 89.5 Columbia.
All right, Ruby Lane, awesome stuff as well. I think
Ruby Lane.
I think they played down at the river actually last weekend. It was probably outstanding. Memphis, was that right? Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Huh? Was it good? Yeah, they good. Rock. I mean, Forrest, the guy who plays guitar for Ruby Lane, can just tear it up.
Down at Cooper's.
Yeah, that's an interesting show for Cooper's. Normally, they're not quite that rock and roll. So, anyway.
Listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN. This is Love Seeds, and you're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN, Columbia.
See how I messed that one up too?
Love that.
Let's do this one. This is my favorite one because the way Andrew talks. Listen to this one.
This is Andrew Ryan, and you're listening to Open Mic Radio on KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM.
He's a pro, man. I love it. All right, and that's right. It is Open Mic Radio, and I won't do any more of those for a little bit. And Kurt is here playing music for us this afternoon. We had Sticky and the Cabana guys here. They've got a cool project, sort of a collaboration with Skull Splitter Distillery in Higbee, that is. Yep. And they're presenting live music a couple times a month, and
which is awesome to have another venue.
And yeah, that's
for live music. And if you're out about,
that's kind of, trust me, if you go to that one, that's the kind of anything goes.
Things might get sticky.
Sort of show, they're outside the city limits, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
now PDM, okay, remember the guy who used to work at Wolf's Head Tavern? He worked in the kitchen there for a while, and he's also a really good guitar player. And he started PDM, the sort of underground venue that's, I can't really say where, I'm not supposed to say where it is, but they don't advertise. It's basically a storage facility.
Spot,
yeah. But darn it, I can't remember what his name is, but I would love to get him on the show sometime and talk about PDM, because it's the one venue that really does a bunch of really like underground stuff. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, like Bummy would be playing there.
Well,
you know what I mean, regularly. And anyway, if anyone remembers what that guy's name is, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah,
so.
You're going back a few years there, and
man, he was a shredder guitar. He could just shred it, man. He could be a really good guitar, but he always wore leather. He always wore like a leather jacket with like punk rock with all these stickers or like patches that were sewn onto the leather. Zeke, Zach, no. I don't know. Okay, so I digress.
From the Z range.
It is 5:26 on the 15th of July. 7/15/2023. Time flies. We're halfway through this year, and
yeah,
we have Kurt playing music for us this afternoon live in the studio. Next week is Jim Wilbur and the Boone Howlers will be back. Remember
we had actually a week before last
they
as well.
They played a couple.
The Daves.
Yeah, they played a couple songs in the studio.
Yep.
When the Daves were here, but I want to get a full set from them because they do a really cool rockabilly thing too.
Nice.
And so we're gonna have a full.
We're gonna set them up in the main room.
We'll set them up in the main room. Well, we may not have to. We'll have to see.
All right.
There's only 3 of them. Maybe do it in here. It's less work for us.
The KOPN Dome.
What we need is some.
People don't know,
we need is some aspiring young sound editor, or no, like sound person. Somebody wants to learn how to do sound. Am I being unclear?
Or xylophone or the drums.
We need a volunteer to come here and do sound for the radio show, so me and Kurt don't have to. So we can just keep having fun like we're doing.
Right.
Memphis wants to do it. Well, actually, we talked a little bit about you got some additional equipment, and Memphis just nods his head now. It's very difficult for radio, but yes, but we do have something going on with Memphis and some new audio equipment, I think. How's that going to work? Honestly, grab the mic. No. Okay.
No.
Well, but there was one piece of equipment though that I forgot though. You said there was one piece of equipment that we needed, and you said ask someone if they had, but I can't remember what it was. It was a flux capacitor.
Right.
What it was. 2 gigawatts. So 2.4 gigawatts. Okay. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We've got time for some more music. Kurt.
Yeah, let's tell people though about.
Let's tell people what's
going
happening
down
around
to
town.
Coopers, like if you're down in Coopers, because we mentioned that earlier when we were talking about, was it the Brink?
Yeah, well, no, we were talking about
Ruby
Ruby Lane.
Ruby Lane, yeah, that was there last week, I think.
Right.
Well, tonight you can catch the Flood Brothers.
Very cool.
From 6 to 9 o'clock. Yep. So I would get down for that.
All right, and Flood Brothers now is a three-piece. I think they have a drummer. It used to just be. I mean, they've always had a drummer and a guitarist. So I think they have a bass player now too. I think that's been the case for a bit. But anyway, Flood Brothers tonight at Cooper's. All right.
At Cooper's, if you're in town and you're around the dive bar, you could check out Tail Light Rebellion at 8. I'm sure that's going to be out on the patio.
Tail Light Rebellion, yeah.
Tail Light Rebellion, yes.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna co-opt your spot here because I want to say who's playing at Rose tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Leica, my girl Rachel Kelly, and her band Leica are also playing with Karma and Close Encounters tonight at Rose Park. That's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Leica was here, performed a month or two ago. Anyway, I love Rachel.
Yeah.
She's my crush, and she's an amazing artist.
Yep.
So,
and that will not conflict with people going tomorrow night to the Blue Note for the Compass Music Camp.
Well, yeah.
Showcase.
Yeah. Tell us
That's
about
at
that. That's all day, isn't it?
Nah, I think the doors are at 4:30.
Okay.
And the show's at like 5:30. But it's only $6 to go.
And what's happening?
Well,
what's the deal?
It's the Compass Music Camp Showcase.
That's
all they're giving me.
Oh, okay. So
tell me about.
So they will be showcasing some
I believe some of the people that have been to the camps.
That have been in the camps.
Yeah.
And the Compass Music Camps are sort of an institution now. I mean, they've been doing that for 15 some years, and some really cool collaborations and some young musicians that have really learned a lot at those camps for a long time. So hats off to Phil Sean primarily and Violet for putting that together and for keeping it going for so long. And now the new Compass listening room is doing some live stuff over there as well. So all right, what else? So Rose on Sunday, the Motown brunch with DJ Requiem. That's like an afternoon thing. 10 o'clock actually, a.m.
So you could go see that before you walk down to the
before the Compass thing. Yeah, that actually that would actually work.
That'd work out good.
Okay, what else is happening?
What else is happening?
Anything at Pierpont or
Sea Rock City is tonight.
Sea Rock City.
Sea Rock City.
Did you say what was happening at Dive Bar? You did. I just didn't hear it.
I did. And
what is it?
It was a rebellion. It was taking
the
place
Taillight
there.
Rebellion. That's right.
Yep.
I wonder who they are. Why aren't they here on this show? That's what all the listeners are saying. Well, don't ask us. All right, we got to get them here just because I like their name.
I do as well, and that's at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be out on the patio.
You know, we have a connection at the Dive Bar, and that's Luna, who does a couple programs here on KOPN. She does a cool show called Femme FM. It was one of the most cleverly named radio shows, I have to say, in a long time that I've heard. Femme FM. Luna Hawk, check her out. But she's also the music. What do you call the person who books music at a club? Whatever.
The booking agent.
The booking agent over there at the Dive Bar. So we should be, or I should be talking more with Luna about getting bands that come through the Dive Bar, trying to get them hooked up here
on the show.
Get them hooked up here at the show, and we kind of, because Dive Bar is a sponsor of the program.
Right.
You know, so we should be doing more to kind of work together to promote those shows, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll do that.
But it always helps if people let us know.
It really does.
So that we are able to help them.
And we miss, me and Kurt aren't the sharpest tools in the shed, so we may miss stuff.
I'm also not the dimmest bulb on the tree.
But 443-8255, we're glad to hear what we missed. We have no problem, right? So 443-8255, 443-7380 if you want to bring us up to speed on the stuff that we're not aware of. Okay?
Familiar with, right?
Yeah, really. There's a lot of stuff happening around here.
There is,
and there's more every week. It's like, really. What's happening at the Twisted Pickle?
Last minute changes.
Twisted Pickles. I don't even know what's happening.
Right. I looked up. I tried to look at for like the mission down in Jeff City.
We have to go to the Twisted Pickle.
Oh yeah.
We really need to go. We need
Really
to pick a day and a date when there's a show
And
there.
all I could find for them this week was karaoke. So
I know a girl named Carrie.
But they do have live shows.
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yeah, I didn't like her very much.
Didn't she break up the Beatles?
She could sing her ass off, though. Karaoke. Come on. Oh yeah, they're booing me. They're booing me at the station. Kurt, we're going to need another song. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, and Crying Kind Kurt is going to play a song for us. And we've had a bunch of them actually this afternoon from Kurt, and he's awesome. And I love the stuff that he's been playing for us. So, what do you got in mind, Mr. Man?
I don't know, because you always like originals, right?
I love all
you prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what most people would prefer on this program. But anything that you do, I appreciate. So feel free.
All right.
All right. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. This is Kind Kurt.
Your heart harder, what doesn't kill you leaves you longing for death. You can only help your fellow man by looking within your soul. There's no starting without ending the past, relinquishing the size of your screws in my head. The gray skies that have me seeing red, the Christian warrior throws the stone. In the house of convalescence, bringing hangman to the door. Semantic resonance, leading to another proclamation of war. It's the same thought on a different day, with abolished talk of a sacred way. Close your eyes and listen to the clouds as together we'll soar. What you run from is what is needed most. The reflection that scares you is merely a ghost of a life you too have been shown many times before. As the thought flies ever circling, smokes around your breath, with a taste of tranquil amnesty, followed by forgotten words of innocence. Stop the insolence. On the glass while looking for a place to hide. I long to feel your wisdom's comfort, to light my path and to help to ease my mind. But we never talk, just dance around each other, and late at night, alone we cry. And to what we owe a solemn pleasure, like a thought and an undying belief in lies. I gave you my everything. In return, all you gave me lies. Thank you, Clark.
That was great, Kurt.
Kurt Kitson.
Thanks, Chris.
And Memphis Chris spoke.
Memphis Chris speaks.
He speaks.
He speaks, yep.
That's
breaking
it
the
took
Penn
a lot
and
to
Teller,
drag.
like-
Takes a lot to drag that out of him. That was awesome, Kurt. You did it.
Thank
Open
you,
Mic
Chris.
Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. Really great stuff from our good friend and my co-host Kind Kurt. Wow. Okay.
That is me. Hello.
How was the story behind that one? You never tend to say much about your songs, but
I really don't.
Okay, well, I guess.
I don't know. They're all like they're
See?
like yeah. I don't know. They're more like I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm like more or less like writing something to myself, like little notes to myself.
I think
to
that's
do
sort of,
lists.
I think that's
sort of
relatively common with musicians and artists in general. They sort of
Not all
reflect
of
their
them,
own
but some of them.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
I want to tell people a little bit about our little project, and I'm going to make it public now, so to kind of force us to do it. So Kurt's like, "What are you talking about?"
I was going to say now you're
yeah. All right. So back in the day when Kurt was running around with all those bands that I was mentioning earlier, and some of my favorite bands actually from back in the 90s, I guess, primarily.
Yeah, 90s
into the
late
2000s,
80s, all through the 90s, and like
into the early 2000s,
into the mid 2000s.
Right.
Yep.
So Kurt was collecting video evidence of these shows and was documenting actually.
Right.
Lots of the road life of a lot of these bands that we've been talking about, and tucked away in an undisclosed location in Columbia, Missouri, there's a storage shed that has a couple of suitcases, at least, that have some outstanding video footage from many of these bands from the late 80s through the mid 2000s, like we're talking about. So our idea,
and it runs the gamut too. I mean,
what do you mean
by that? I was smart enough. At least I think I was smart enough that I started asking some of the other bands that would come and go, because not everybody can travel on across country for an extended period of time. So you would have like a lot, like a 2, 3, usually a 3-band bill. So a lot of times when I would go, though, I would make sure and document the people in the region we were at.
So there'd be a lot of people performing that people aren't familiar with. They wouldn't be like they may be great bands, but nobody ever heard their name.
Yeah, or they were very short-lived.
Right.
They might have gone out for a tour or two, and then somebody decided to get married, and that was the end of that project. Which is usually how it goes for most bands.
There's a lot of that.
No doubt about it. Goes on, actually.
Yeah. All right. So at any rate, the idea is to go and get all these tapes and start to go through it and decide which footage is worthy of. Anyway, we're gonna make it. We're trying to do something with it. Make a big make a big badass documentary, and we've got some really cool people involved. I think Scott Wilson, who's a wonderful videographer. John would love to help us too, John Lamb. But Scott, is so excited to see that stuff. And I think I don't know how long it's going to take us, but we're going to do something really cool with that, Kurt. And I'm sure it should. So yeah,
because I have a lot of even just to see the scene, like behind the scenes kind of thing. That was fun too, because I was at least privileged enough to be able to do that as well. So there's a lot of really good shows, a lot of hijinks.
That's a great way to put it. That sounded like Scooby-Doo, baby. So, yes. Well, I'm looking forward to. We actually have a date set for you and me to go out there. I put it on my calendar, so we actually know we're going to do it. And I really
we'll go dig that out.
I can't wait to see.
Because a lot of it, I spent a lot of time editing like the Meat Puppets thing, because I did a bit of a documentary for them.
Right, and somebody else sort of co-opted it.
Ended up being like
somebody else sort of took it and used it for theirs.
For their DVD or whatever, for the Live in the 90s. But anyway, I took most of the footage for that. But a lot of that I went through, so I was spending my time on that. And there's a lot of bands, even though I would get it, I'd watch it back to make sure like what the quality is, and that's as far as I get.
And you did that with like 8mm? Is that how you recorded it?
Yep. 8mm digital. Well, it started out in the 80s. It was actually VHS.
Right.
That's back like late 80s. Yeah. I was taping
the camera was
Sin
big.
City Disciples. Do you remember them from Kansas City?
I do.
You know, I have footage of those guys at a bunch of like hemp fests and stuff like that. And that would have been like the 80s. But back then, you had to have one of those big old. I mean, it was big, you know.
You had to put a VHS tape in.
And the VHS tape was the master tape. Yeah.
No, I remember. I used to ride my bicycle around with one of those camcorders, and I would hang the thing on the handlebar of my bicycle. Because I was living in Europe at the time, and I actually have some pretty funny footage that was me like riding across like from Germany to Austria, crossing the border right after the invasion of Iraq in 1989, and they locked down all of Europe. This is before the EU was put into operate, very shortly before, because the EU came in right around 1990, where they eliminated the need for passports in Europe.
Right.
But before that, you had to have a passport if you went from Italy to Germany to Austria, whatever. You had to. But I lived there, so I would routinely ride. I lived real close to the border, so I would routinely ride over to Austria because it was a fun ride, and I'd get to go to Salzburg. And this one day I'm riding over there, and it's real serious at the border, and it was because the war had started. I was oblivious to it, and
just riding on
I was working for the government, believe it or not, but I was doing a completely different thing that had to do with World War II of all with the reunification treaties of East and West Germany. That's what I was working on.
So when you're riding through, you're like, pay no attention to the warhead straps on my back.
So I'm like riding through with this camera. I got a camera on my bicycle handlebars, and I'm riding through the checkpoint there, and all these guys are like, what's going on with the camera? And I recorded the whole thing, and I'm speaking in German to these. I speak good German, certainly did back then, and it's if you could understand the conversation, I'm like, what's the big deal?
You know what? Sometimes
and they're like, hey, you can't just ride across, and I'm like, hey, I come across here every other day. Oh yeah, but today's different. Why? Oh, anyways, back and forth. Funny.
Sometime we should do this show all in German.
Ja, wir können das tun, ja. Ich kann irgendwas machen. Wir können das Radio, it's the same word at least for radio, the same thing, but
sauerkraut.
The whole show will just say sauerkraut every once in a while. Now let's just keep it in English for now. All right, Kurt, we're running tight on time. I want to hear. Do you have two more songs?
Sure.
Okay, so do one now, then we'll wrap things up, and then we'll do one more to close it out. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, is that too much pressure? No, you can do it.
No. We can do that.
Good. Okay, so once again, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Appreciate y'all listening. Hey, I want to say hi to my friend Brian at Waltz VW. Those guys are great over there, and they're listeners of the program. And
Hi, Brian.
And what kind of a name is Brian? and they help. They always fix my car. So anyway, Kurt, play a song for us. It's KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM, Open Mic Radio.
Rainy days and candy glaze all make me high. Another way through this maze, I might just make it by. Get away, summer lays. Think I'll go outside for a little while. I feel like I got something to say. I think I'm gonna start a new life. All I want is you. I hope you want me to. Too much liquor is gonna leave me blue, but just enough of your love and some herb will see me through. All I really want is you. You're all I really want to do. Today's forecast. It'll be partly sunny with intermittent periods of complete and utter darkness.
Damn, dude.
Thanks, fellas.
Wow, amazing.
I appreciate you hitting the applause button like when I get done.
Kind Kurt in the studio with us this afternoon playing great stuff. Kurt, awesome. Thank you. Hey, we've got a phone call. Let's quick say hello and welcome to Open Mic Radio. Hi, who's this?
Hello, this is Ryan Egan with the Brink Como.
Ryan, my brother. What's happening, dude?
Hey, y'all. Not a whole lot. I'm just having a casual weekend, doing some chores and whatnot. And I thought I would check in with my good buddies here on the air.
Yeah.
Appreciate you doing it. I don't know if your ears must have been burning, but I've been talking about the Brink needing a drummer earlier in the program. And are you still looking for a drum? You know, Clark's here. I think he's going to audition. But you guys still looking for a drummer? You got people on the docket there?
Yeah, absolutely. We are. We're doing open auditions for the drumming position. Our band is sad to see Alex go. He is a good friend of ours, and he was doing the job for us for 2 years. But
what's do you mind me asking? I mean, I don't expect you to speak for Alex, but has he got other projects going on, or is he leaving town, or what's going on?
I don't believe he's leaving town. I think he's just taking the time that the band would take up to focus on his career and other things.
Okay. Yeah.
So
sure. Fair enough.
But everything's good on our end, and everything's good on his end. So.
Well,
we got nothing but good things to say about Alex.
No doubt about it. He is a great drummer, and he was a lot of fun here in the studio. We had a lot of fun every time that you and the band were here, which was just a few weeks ago, by the way, which was awesome. I don't know if you heard that show, but gosh, we had a great time, and you guys killed it. So. Okay. So exciting summer for you. You did summer camp for people who missed the show. You got a bunch of shows coming up, and so that'd be a great gig for a drummer that looking for a job.
Yeah, exactly. And we posted a graphic on our Instagram, thebrinkcomo.official, and we had an overwhelming amount of responses for the audition. So
good.
We actually are doing a 2-step audition. This is our plan if you want to know, and if anyone is looking.
Mm-hmm.
We are first, we're now requesting that if you are looking to audition, that you send in a video to either our Instagram or our email. The Instagram handle is thebrinkcomo.official. The email is thebrinkcomo@gmail.com. And that just allows us to sort of see your general skill level on the drum kit and see if we feel you would be a good fit for the audition. And then our plan is to get back with people about halfway through next week and let them know our thoughts. And if they are selected, we'll do a follow-up audition live on Sunday of next weekend. That's the 23rd. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, wish you the best of luck. I'm sure you'll come up with somebody very good for the band, and I wish you continued success. Okay. So.
Absolutely. Will. Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today, and it's always good to hear from you guys.
All right, Ryan. Take care of yourself, and let me know if you need anything. You got an open invitation here. If you ever want to come down, just say hi. All right.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate that, and we'll have to check in with you soon here. So.
All right, man. Cheers.
All right. Have a great day.
Yep. Bye-bye. All right, Kurt, we are against the clock.
All right.
One more song.
What do you want to do? You want another song?
Yep, I want one more song, and then
play the outro.
And then we'll do the outro. All right. And I will say, I'm going to kind of wrap it up here and let people know that I appreciate them listening, and it's been a fun show. We've got, let's see, next week is the Boone Howlers. Clayton Hicklin coming up in early August. I've got Max Angle coming up in August. Ray and Chaz at some point, Soft Crisis, Nick Parr, Nick Danger, Bannister Tarleton, lots of people. Right now we got Kind Kurt. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. Appreciate y'all listening.
Soon as you're born, they make you feel small by giving you no time instead of it all. Till the pain is so big you feel nothing at all. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. They had you at home and they hate you at school. They hate you if you're clever and despise a fool. They're so crazy you can't follow their rules. Working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. After they've tortured you and scarred you for 20-odd years, then they expect you to pick a career. When you can barely function, you're so full of fear. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. Keep you doped with religion and sex and TV. You think you're so clever and classless and free. Well, you're all peasants as far as I can see. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. There's room at the top, they're telling you still. First you must learn how to smile as you kill. If you wanna be just like the folks in the hill. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. If you wanna be a hero, just follow me. If you wanna be a hero and just follow me.
All right. The email address, Mike Hagan at MikeHagan.com. Kurt, you're the man. Send me music if you'd like to appear on the show. You've been listening to Open Mic Radio. Stick around. Who's coming up, Kurt?
Arashumba!
Rashumba.
Reggae party, man!
It's a reggae party coming at you in just a few minutes here, okay? You've been listening to Open Mic Radio on Open Mic. You've been listening to Open Mic Radio on Open Mic Radio. It's KOPN Columbia. I hope you all enjoy the weekend. Be cool to yourself, cool to other people. Stick around for Rosh Shumba. We'll catch y'all next week. Kurt, get us out of here, brother.